Welcome to the Josh and Erik Show. I'm Erik.
And I'm Josh.
What are we talking about today?
Today, this is 5 easy steps to start your business. Very high level.
And don't forget, subscribe. So the first one, and my favorite, and I think the most important, is invest in yourself. You have to find ways to keep yourself self-disciplined to be able to reach the next level to start your business. You're gonna need it all the way throughout, so you might as well learn it at the beginning. I had to learn a little bit of accounting. I had to learn a little bit about portable shitters. I had to learn a little bit about logistics, a little bit about insurance. You have to have a broad range of understanding in a lot of different aspects. And so you need to get started immediately on understanding little bits and pieces of everything about the business.
How did you learn all those things?
So I learned it through either reading books or listening to articles, reading articles. I like the Audible. I used to ride my car instead of listening to AC/DC or country radio or whatever you like to listen to. Or rap.
Okay.
I like that too. But I would just put in Audible. I would find a book that was related to what I'm researching or what I'm trying to figure out. And I have about a 45-minute drive to my house from our business. So both ways, that's an hour and a half a day. You do that over a week, 2-week period of time, you start learning some things quickly.
You have to be self-disciplined, to your point, on your personal finances. Don't go buy that new fancy nice new car and that big old nice new house when you're about to start your first business. That's stupid, folks. Put that money where it's gonna make you money, into real estate, into your business, into whatever you decide to start.
Into yourself.
Into yourself. Put it into yourself.
Step 2, do your research. If you figured out what you're gonna get into, now is when the research starts. Kind of what I said earlier. You gotta learn a little bit about accounting. You gotta learn a little bit about marketing. You gotta learn a little bit about finance, about banking, about logistics. Whatever you're in, fully immerse yourself. Do the research, guys. If you don't, it'll hurt you. What do you think?
Man, when I first started my first business, doing your research is very critical. I went to extremes to contacting people that were in my business lines that I wanted to start and finding somebody in a different state or in a different region. They weren't going to be my competitors. And finding them and saying, hey, can you tell me a little bit about your business? Everybody likes to talk about their business. For the most part here, people want you to be successful. They're willing to share information, but all you got to do is ask.
The third step is staying focused. Once you figure out what you're going to do, stay focused on it. Stay task oriented. Whether that is setting small goals, staying focused to those small goals to reach your long-term goal, but whatever it is, stay focused on it. Don't get drawn in by the crowds of your friends going to the bars. Don't be spending time doing stuff that isn't making you money. Stay focused on what you're doing, especially at the beginning when you're starting the business, because all this time will not be wasted later.
When you're doing your research, you developed a little bit of self-discipline. You start finding a lot of different ways to make money, right? You have all these opinions around you. Everybody, you see golden eggs, little nuggets everywhere, right? Figure out your gold nugget, stay focused. Don't get distracted.
And once you get figured out with what you're going to do, staying focused on that task is going to benefit you tenfold. So you have to stay focused.
Step number 4, understand your risk tolerance. It's very, very, very important to understand where you are financially. Don't lie to yourself. Understand what you're willing to risk. For me, personally, I risked it all. That's the only way. I only had $5,000, so it wasn't much. But that's how I started, with $5,000. You don't have to have a lot of money. You just have to know what you have and what you're willing to risk. $5,000 to me, at that point in time, at 23 years old,
was everything.
That was everything.
Yeah. I gave up my college degree and just jumped in it full force. But I actually had a backup, right? I knew that if this didn't work, but I was gonna make sure it was gonna work. But I knew in the back of my mind, to ease my mind on taking that step, was had a backup plan. All right, guys, so last and final step, which is 5, which is start the thing. We hear everybody talking about it. You've done the research, you're sitting on the edge of your seat, and most people just go back and work for the man. You gotta take that last initial step. Start the business. You're never gonna know unless you start. You're never gonna know unless you try. If you don't start it, hell, you don't know if you're gonna be the next Bill Gates.